ears. Happy New Ears, everyone, for discerning truth from fiction. I'm just having a little shot of sauerkraut juice, actually. Cheers. This is what keeps me vibrant and alive at this time of year. Did you know January is called January because of the Roman god Janus? He's two-faced. It's like that simpering Professor Quirrell in Harry Potter, you know, and he had a turban on and he pulled his turban off and he had a face looking this way and a face looking that way. It's like the tragedy, comedy masks of the entertainment industry. We don't really see that much anymore. I used to see it a lot when I was growing up. Janus, January, it's not really the beginning of the year. April Fools is the beginning of the year. And here we are in January, everyone trying to kind of like start afresh, you know, when really we should just be being quiet and being soothing and going within. I've just been for a lovely walk and I'm in France and they are delightful. Everyone's being so lovely. Bonne année, Happy New Year. Meilleurs vœux, best wishes. Plein de bonnes choses, they say, you know, loads of good things for you in the new year. What a delightful way to be greeted, you know, when you go out on the street. How lovely. Why can't we do that every single day for each other? Hello, how are you? Not even hello, hello, no. I always say hello, like halo, H-A-L-O. I always spell it like that because it's a spell. You know, greetings. Have a beautiful day. You know, why can't we do that every single day? Why does it have to be just on the new year, which isn't really the new year? But I have had a lovely morning with these delightful French people greeting me, which is lovely. But I did see on my very short walk in the countryside where there's not very many people, one little boy who was non-verbal. And another boy who was a young man who was walking in front of his mother, who was elderly, and they were going on a lovely walk for New Year's Day. But he wanted to talk to me because my dog, and he was like, "Is it a berger australien or whatever, the dog?" And he wouldn't actually look me in the eye. He was looking over here somewhere. You know, he wasn't actually. He was obviously deficient. He was obviously mentally deficient, physically deficient, nutritionally deficient. And then I was walking past another house and all I could hear was a screaming child. Just hurling, you know, just like screaming, like out of control. You know, obviously sugar overloaded and spoilt by all the gifts of Christmas or whatever. It's a crazy time, you know, the kids get all overexcited and like, just like, we need to have a big old rethink about what we actually do at this time of year, and instead of having, you know, port or whatever, be knocking back some. It's made with ruby red cabbage. That's why it's this beautiful colour, and it's not kvass, it's sauerkraut juice, and it's excellent to have a little shot of sauerkraut juice before a meal because it activates your stomach acid. So I'm writing a book called How to Make Babies, which is going to be teaching people how to not have kids that are deficient. Because if we don't start pulling our socks up and doing something pretty drastic, the majority of the world is going to be not all there. You know, gut and psychology syndrome. We're talking about how to keep your brain sharp, how to, you know, keep your body strong, how to build a beautiful biodiverse microbiome so that your body can be resilient and adaptable, so that you can walk around going, "Hey, how are you? Have a beautiful day, all best wishes and meilleurs vœux," and all of those lovely things every single day, not just the day they tell us. Janus is the god of portals and gateways and beginnings and endings, and the mascot that Janus has is the cock, the cockerel, which is what the French use. It's very interesting. Anyway, I'm all about transmutation and transformation, information, motivation for becoming fully ourselves, really inhabiting our human form so our souls can fulfill the mission. You know, because you're all here to fulfill a mission. I'm here to bring some cheer to you today with my ridiculous pink bobble hat on because it freezing. I've been sleeping with woolen jumpers on. We've only got a ridiculously little electrical heater in the flat where I'm staying, and it's freezing. So I'm like full woolen socks, woolen jumpers, thermals, like layers in bed, you know. And I've also got my infrared lamp in my bedroom so that when I do get undressed and get changed, you know, I can bask in the infrared lamp light, which is so soothing. And that's what we need to be doing at this time of year, is not depriving ourselves and going, right, New Year's resolutions, I'm going to do a thing. No, chill out, be gentle, be quiet, be peaceful, be calm. It's a perfect time for just like go and get some scraps and stick them in a stock pot and just make a really warming stock and sip on, you know, buttery, warm, salty soups and stews and stock, and, you know, build up your strength, make some sauerkraut. You know, I've just found a spring with some spring water, serious spring water. It's making me feel divine. If you know where a spring is near you, go and be with the water of the spring, bless the spring, make it an outing, you know, go and find out where this water springs out of the earth, where it's structured, where you can really connect to source. That's what they call a spring in French, is source, you know. So if you want to connect to source, go and find some water, some real water. Anyway, darling hearts, have a beautiful day, and see me if you've got anything chronic, and if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling worried, you know, we can get together and I can show you the way. And you can help me by keeping a roof over my head as I help you to strengthen your body and strengthen your mind and get your vessel in a fit state to inhabit your soul so you can fulfill your mission. Have a beautiful day. Okay, bye. Oh, my button's covered up. Hold on a minute.